you. I appreciate that. I really do, man. Seriously. So just stand by here. We'll get in our vehicles and we'll depart. Good?
Yeah, good. Hey, wait. Right, we're not here to cause any violence, right?
Listen, you're right. You're right, sir.
Can everybody listen for a second?
Hey, listen up. If you just wait right here, we'll go get in our vehicles and we'll depart. All right. Good to go.
They're gonna leave. Can you identify yourself?
Everybody, chill. Everybody, chill. Hey, chill. Chill. Chill.
We're reasonable. You are not. We are reasonable. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Go on.
Hey, hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot. Hands up, don't shoot.
Ice out. 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 A commanding officer in Border Patrol just told everyone if they would give them room, they would leave. They're backing up in the crowd.
I mean, at the end of the day, right, it's like, if they want to be here, we want them to leave, and if they want to leave, we want them to be here. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what they want, we don't want them to accomplish it. I don't know.
What, do you have any thoughts about what happened out here tonight?
I mean, it's terrible, and I think they know it. I think they know, at least in some way, that what they did was terrible, and I don't know, I hope God forgives them, you know?
You were trying to talk to them a lot tonight. Did you get any response?
Yes, no, of course not. You know, they just look at you and then they look away when you say something too mean. But I'm curious about, I want to know what they're like, you know? I want to know what kind of people do this. It makes me sad.
Thank you.
Ice out. Ice out. Ice out. Ice out.
Hold on. That's tear gas. They seem to have fired off a couple rounds of tear gas to make their exit.
You okay?
Thank you. You can. I'm here. What happens is, what's that little tear gas canister? Yeah. And but the pepper pellets, as you can see on the ground, where they hit the ground, these seem to be very large ones. I've been in Rochester. I was hit with very small ones. And what happens is they fire them across the ground and they release a powder that comes up into the air. Legally, they're not supposed to shoot anyone with them, but often they're used as munitions against people. They're supposed to fire them on the ground and release basically a powder gas up into the air, which would get people to move back or at least disperse. We have a tear gas.
I don't know what this one is. Yeah, probably.
No, that's a tear gas.
Oh, that's this one.
Tear gas canister.
That's tear gas. That's.
Oh, you got to run. Yeah, this is what they're shooting. They're shooting the shit at people, man. It's a freaking rubber round.
Oh, they shot a rubber round.
Yeah, they're shooting at people.
Okay.
This can cause organ bleeding if you get hit by them.
One person got shot in the eye and got blinded today. So.
Buy one of these.
Yeah.
This shit should not be happening here in the U.S. or fucking, let alone our goddamn home state. Where are you guys from? New York. Virginia. We're with the Status Coup. Oh, okay. What you're carrying weapons of war? You're carrying weapons of war in your hand. What is? I mean, I always say, how does that make you feel that like other Americans are shooting Americans in the streets? Dude, it's fucking crazy. I don't know. I live in a fucking cushy house in the suburbs, 45 minutes from here, but I was sitting at home every day pissed off looking at social media, and I went to see the Renee Good thing, and I felt moved to come and fucking be part of this. This is nuts. This is fucking, and you're right in the middle of this shit. What the fuck is going on, dude? This is insane.
What is? I mean, I guess what really drew you here? Like, I mean, that you
I'm at home pissed off every fucking day looking at social media.
have you ever gone out to these sort of things before?
Never. I've never protested in my life. My brother's here. He does it all the time. I've never. Dude. Like I said, I'm far enough away, but close enough, and I sit in my cushy house and look at shit and get mad, and my daughter was part of it. We keep going down to Whipple every night now, and we're protesting down there. My wife is here, probably way back there, because she doesn't want to be part of the tear gas.
I think
They're just trying to fucking scare people, and but why shoot people? You know what really pisses me off is the fact that they detain people, cuff them, and then still beat the shit out of them. That's what's fucking. And you know what? Have you guys been down to Whipple? Yep. Okay, yeah. You see the fucking they're American citizens are letting go, dude. It's not. They tell you it's immigrants, only immigrants. It's fucking anybody. I have friends that got detained, and all they were doing was fucking driving home from work. What the fuck?
What? Yeah. Let's, you want to walk down this way or no? Okay. So what's you're from the suburbs of Minneapolis, or is it
Prior Lake. It's 45 minutes south of here.
What?
It's a very wealthy community. We have a fucking 5,000 square foot home.
You probably. It sounds like you don't fit the definition of the.
No, and I'm not fucking paid to be here like everybody fucking says. What the fuck is that? I gotta work in the goddamn morning, just like everybody else.
What? Yeah, you don't fit the definition of the anti-fascist terrorist that that
we're labeled. That I'm labeled now. Yeah, exactly. What the fuck is that? I'm just here trying to stand up for community, dude. We're all human beings here. I don't give a shit who you are, where you came from, what color you are. It doesn't fucking matter. This is wrong. How do you? And no offense to social media guys, I know you guys are, but I go online, right, and I see certain people, and they're fucking lying the whole goddamn time. And that's the other thing that's drawing me down here, because somebody has to fucking report the goddamn truth. The media is too scared to talk about it because you got the fucking asshole and president that doesn't fucking, he fucks everybody over every time they open their mouth.
Like going back to home to your community, what do people say that's happening down here?
They're all the same. They all fucking sit in their goddamn house just like I was. I don't even talk to half the people in our neighborhood, to be honest with you.
Do you think that this has caused more of a divide within where you're living?
No. You know what's going to happen is it's eventually going to affect them. It will eventually affect them. Oh shit!
Yeah, they're moving. They seem to be moving back. No.
To be honest with you, so I know why they're down here, because this is where it's not super wealthy. It's poor. Actually, this area here where you guys are standing right now, that fucking building right there is all Crips. The one back there is all Crips. This is a bad area. So I'm surprised when gunshots didn't go off that these guys didn't come out of their house and start shooting. This is not the area I would normally be in. But
do you feel as though that this is that what's happening here in Minneapolis, also in St. Paul? I mean, we were tracking ICE throughout the city earlier today, and do you feel as though that? I mean, do you think that there's ever going to be a point where people amongst your community realize what's happening or turn?
They know what's happening, but here's the thing: where I live, it's the majority conservatives, so they approve of this shit. That's the problem. I don't approve of this. I grew up different. My parents fucking raised me to care about people. I don't give a fucking shit. Dude, why would I put myself in harm's way when I can just sit in my fucking house and watch a big screen TV all night? It's so stupid.
What do you think the seeming it calls for a great retribution against the Minneapolis and Minnesota. He's cutting government funding, cutting government loans to small.
It's because that little fucker Nick and all those other bitches come down here and lie. That's why. The daycare shit was taken care of fucking years ago. That didn't happen right now because the goddamn Republican Party in Minnesota had that little fucker come down here. They paid him to come down here and make a fucking video. That's what happened. And Donald Trump fucking hates this state because we're fucking blue. That's why. And he figures if we remove all the Somalis and all the immigrants, that this state will turn red. But that's not true.
The state has a history of being maybe not blue, labor and working class.
Right, exactly. Well, now though, there's more Fortune 500 companies, and it's there's a lot of really wealthy neighborhoods. I think one of the most wealthy neighborhoods in the whole country is Wayzata, right on Lake Minnetonka. Yeah.
So if you, I don't want to come back on this, but as you're holding.
Show my daughter. That's it.
If you showed that to members, do you have members of the family in your family that are still thinking that this is okay or that don't care?
Her daughter, and she lives in the northern suburbs where it's primarily red. So yeah, I just had a big fight with her today.
Do you think that if you showed her what they're shooting at people, that would?
I think she'd care because she thinks they deserve it. I don't think anybody deserves it. Nobody deserves this shit. So yeah, I can't be. Yeah, I'm not for this crap. There's my brother actually right there. He's always at protests.
Well, thank you so much. Would you mind sharing your name?
What do you guys? Are you guys?
We're Status Coup. Yeah, we're progressive news outlets. My name's Midas Touch.
My name's Chris. Oh, I know Midas Touch. Yeah, my name's Chris.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.
Stay safe. See ya. There's a young man arrested. Watch out behind us. Watch out for the ice as well. Let's get up on the sidewalk. Young Hispanic man, zip tied or handcuffed.
I'm only 14. 14 to 15. What are your guys' names?
What were they?
Oh, Trayshawn James of 14 and 15-year-old kids. So I think they were the ones who threw the firecracker. I'm not sure yet. So, but
I wouldn't say anything that we're not sure.
we're not sure of anything yet. But we do know that they did just take a 14 and 15-year-old.
Release the
Yep,
kids?
they released the kids.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
They were teenagers.
Yeah, they were teenagers, 14 and 15. They released them and they're back home.
So likely they probably likely wouldn't have released if they had any evidence that they did anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But also they just they seem to
Why
just
are we
want.
handcuffing our children? Why is that necessary? Like, what the fuck? Dude, come on. They have nothing on them. He's in a hoodie when he was taken. How's that threat?
Shut up!
Are you okay, ma'am?
Yeah, I am.
Do you mind if we talk to you for a second, if you're okay?
Well, this is ridiculous. It's a waste of money, a waste of time. All these men out here for what? They're just doing it for money. Oh, this is terrible. This is unbelievable. This is the USA. It's not frickin' third world country.
Are you here from Minneapolis or Minnesota area?
Yes, I'm Minnesota born, raised.
I can hear it now.
Oh, you betcha.
I love that accent. I always think it's usually a nice person. So,
Enunciate our words. That's what we do. Yeah. No,
So-
this is too bad. This is not Minnesota.
All right, thank you. I agree with you. That wasn't Jordan. That was someone who I haven't met yet. Yo, what's up?
I just want to thank you guys, man. I see you everywhere, every
Thanks so
fucking
much.
day.
Yeah.
Like, you are killing it, man. You're fucking everywhere.
Okay. It's a little frosty out
A little
here.
bit. I'm glad I was stationed in Alaska right now.
Yeah, I guess I once drove the. Let's move it a little bit because we're on a shotgun mic here. I once drove the Alaska Highway.
Okay, hell
During
yeah.
polar vortex, it was -25. I don't remember feeling this cold, which is wild.
With that wind chill, right?
Yeah,
Right through
yeah,
you.
yeah. So, what really motivates you? What motivates you to come out every single day? You've been arrested. You've been pulled into there before. What keeps you going?
Well, our nation's falling. In my opinion, the Republic has already fallen. Congress has failed. No one is coming to save us.
Yeah.
The midterms might not save us. I just want to stand up for humanity while we can. I'm seeing the exact parallels of 1939 Nazi Germany. I thought Venezuela was going to be Poland.
Yeah.
But, I'm seeing this happening in my nation. I love this country. I love all people, no matter their race, religion. None of that shit matters to me. And I feel an obligation as having the privilege of having a VA disability check, so I can be out here. And now I have a social platform, so my voice is getting out there. So I just can't stop. I just feel that it's my patriotic duty. I swore an oath to the Constitution, and I plan to fucking uphold it.
Remind people who you are.
I'm DeWoke Farmer. DeWoke Farmer 2 now because they keep banning my accounts because I'm a little vulgar. I'm a little loud.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. What inspires the fact that there's still people out here? Not as many as there was 2 hours ago when the sun was still up a little bit, but that night after night, cold after cold, freezing temperatures as it drops. This week is going to be supposed to be by far in the negative temperatures. What keeps people coming out here? What do you feel that people motivates people?
I think people are hopeful. I think that's what it is, especially Minnesota. They know how to resist. They've been through this fire before with George Floyd and many other times. They know how to fight back.
Yeah.
And I think that people are scared. People are seeing what's happening, and they know it's the fucking same thing as Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
They see that this city has been invaded by 4,000 fucking private troops, Donald Trump's private army, and so they know that if they're not out here, they're complicit. So if you're willing and able and physically able to get off your couch, it just takes you to be out here. You don't have to yell. You don't have to wave a flag. You can just stand here. You can wear a costume.
Minneapolis and Minnesota has, since it's been the kind of, I think, unearned, I don't know what you could earn it for, but unearned focus of Donald Trump for so many years. And it seems like it's become kind of like a warning to people a warning that I think that people might want to pay attention to in other cities. I mean, soon ICE troops are being planned to go to Columbus, Ohio, to Maine. And what would you say, what should people do to kind of getting prepared as, what Minneapolis comes to, what ICE is doing in Minneapolis comes to their city?
Well, the first thing you need to do is organize. You need to get signal groups going, and you need to get ready because you need to be able to chase and document all these crimes against humanity. Yeah. But also, you can go on ICE's website and look where their ERO, enforcement and removal offices are, and they're listed there. Get people out there now. Start protesting it before they come in droves. Start showing resistance ahead of time. But yeah, community organization is key. That is the most important part. And stay loud, stay in their faces, and document their faces, document their license plates, because this will end one way or another. This will end, and they need to be held accountable.
Do you have that hope? How do you? I guess two questions here. Do you have that hope that things will change and things will get better? And how do you hope that's going to happen?
Well, so I have hope that things are going to get better. I know things are going to get better because we outnumber them 100 to 1 probably. Yeah. But I'm scared that things can't get better without violence, and that is also one of the reasons why I'm out here every day practicing my First Amendment right. Because I've been to war. I don't want to see war again. I don't want to wish war on anybody. Yeah. But I'm afraid that this country is headed towards maybe not a civil war, but some sort of divisive action. Donald Trump needs to be removed one way or another. And in my opinion, the governors of liberal states should already be meeting, should already be organizing and deploying their National Guards in defense of this nation.
Trump is now readying 1,500 Army with emergency management trucks.
Hennepin County. Notice how Hennepin County local sheriff is supporting ICE.
Yeah, but he's now not only do we have local law enforcement basically helping out and protecting citizens here and people here, but we have potentially, if he declares the Insurrection Act, that we have 1,500 Army, not National Guard, Army coming down from Alaska to do what in the city? We don't know yet. Because I'm sure he watches Fox News and sees clip after clip of Jake Lang getting bothered, and it really bothers him. So I guess he wants to escalate the situation. How do you think that Minnesotans are going to react to that?
I don't think it matters if they're Democrat or Republican. When the U.S. Army invades a U.S. city, that's treason. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I think Minnesota will defend their nation. They will defend their state. They will defend their cities. And as a combat infantry veteran who has fought in Iraq, who was stationed in Fort Wainwright, Alaska, I will do my part. I will stand up for the Constitution. I will stand up for the Republic by any means necessary. And I know all my fellow veterans across the nation will do the same. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Invading a city with the fucking 11th Airborne is treason.
It is. Somebody who also used to live in Alaska. Alaska prides itself on being this independent thing. When were you up there? When did you serve up there?
I think it was 07 to 11, I believe, were the years I served.
So under Palin's side there, I think.
Yeah, that was a trip.
But that was, I was up there in 2010 and 2013, and she prided herself that she went against, not the Palin that everybody in the lower 48 knows, but she prided herself on the fact that she fought against the Republican Party, who wasn't doing the right thing when it came to oil taxes for the state. Alaska prides itself, Alaskans at least that I know, pride themselves on independence and not literally being the boot that steps on me.
Don't tread on me. Where is the don't tread on me crowd?
There's a great thing where they have a bulldozer, don't tread on salmon. Alaska. And and so it's fascinating to see if that, hopefully that Alaskan pride, even though they're not they're sourdoughs, they would come up. Hopefully that comes through. Do you hope that the troops see what happened, what is happening?
I think so, and I think we need to also remember that a large part of the Army infantry, the 11th Airborne, is going to be Latino, is going to be black. So I think that if this does happen, that only some of them will go through with the action. A lot of them will refuse their orders, just like Captain Dylan Blaha and Demi Palachuk did.
That is actually good. Senator Mark Kelly
yeah.
stood up and said, told people, if you believe that they're unconstitutional, you can do it, and kind of explained how you could do it. And then they pulled his, I'm not sure that's specific, basically pulled his ability for access to VA and that sort of thing.
And demoting him as well.
Yeah. And how do you feel that that could be pulled? I've never heard of that in the history.
It's treason. It's direct political. It's using politics as a weapon against your enemy. You can't use the DOD to go after political opponents. It's just madness. And all he did was tell them to remember their oath. He's not telling them to betray the Republic. He's not telling them to betray the country. So Donald Trump is trying to create fascism. He's trying to use military force to do so. So he's removing political adversaries. He's removing officers who will remember their oath because he's scared. Because his private army's funding runs out in July, and he needs the Democrats to get more funding for ICE.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you for what you do. I really appreciate seeing you out everywhere I look. I can check live if status quo is there. I'm getting down there.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Stay safe.
On the ground, covering the protests and the reasons for why we're out here. Hey, brother. Hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Instagram. Yeah. Daughter. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hey, yeah. So you might talk to us again? Get you in some more trouble?
Ton of trouble. I already got in trouble actually because I was down there yelling at CBS News and Don Lemon was trying to calm me down.
Oh no!
I was down there, and every time CBS News shows up, they put on a spectacle to get that propaganda out there. Yeah.
When Don Lemon is trying to calm you down, that might be.
Yeah. Oh, the other guy was trying to cause a fight. I wasn't. I was just yelling. And I told those guys, I'm like, I'm not going to touch you guys. You guys got to get out of here. You're not here reporting the real stuff. You're not interviewing people. You're just trying to create problems on TV.
So what? Sorry, I just hit myself in the face. What brings you out yet again out here tonight? I've been hearing that you've been coming out to protest again night after night after we talked to you for the first time out of a rally.
I'm here for the same reason, man. This is wrong. It's not right or left. It's right or wrong. And this is wrong. This is just plain wrong.
So what is it? What has it been like? We got this clip, and now everybody in the world wants to talk to you. What has it been like, kind of getting this kind of attention after just the first protest? You were holding a couple munitions in your hands. What has been your kind of like reaction to it?
Well, I'm not one to search out attention, so it's kind of it's weird, but at the same time, I think you guys gave me a platform to try to get the everyday average person out here like I did. And that's what I'm trying to do. You know?
That's what, like, based on the thousands and thousands of comments on all the video posts and cross posts, is that it seems like, well, this is the guy we need in this moment. Like this is like you're kind of the example of the people that we need to, that, you know, everybody else here needs to reach for there to be change.
Right. And that's true. We need people off the couch. We need 100,000 people out here, 100,000 people on the streets, and that's how this is going to change. You know, but it's got to remain peaceful. You can't have rabble rousers out here causing problems. You know.
So you have a megaphone now. This might be dangerous. What have you been telling people?
Yeah, no, my daughter mainly, but no, I'm just so goddamn proud of this state for standing up. I'm so proud of people getting off their couch and coming out. That's my message. I've been saying on the megaphone a lot. My daughter gets people riled up.
You might talk to you, or yeah, sir. So this is Chris's daughter. What if you'd introduce yourself? What is been bringing you out as well?
I'm Paige. I'm the angry Minnesota dad's daughter. I've been coming out here because it affects people that are like close to me. I mean, I'm part Ukrainian Iranian. My family came from Ukraine all the way here for like a great state to live right next to the Mississippi River, and they did not come to deal with this.
For a better life.
Yeah, for a better life. And this is exactly why people come to this country for a better life. And right now, this is not the life anybody wants to be living. So I come here to try to like support the community, the people, and bring awareness that we need to change. We need change now. And like in my car, I have to carry my birth certificate and my passport because I don't look like, in the winter, yeah, I have like lighter skin, but in the summer, I'm not your typical white person. So to keep myself protected and everybody else protected, I come to protest to use our voice because they can't silence us.
By the way, we're getting a much heavier snowstorm coming in. So if you're seeing it on the camera, we're all getting hit with it. What has it been like though to see kind of this incredible turnout, like in literally a winter storm right now? I'm sure a very light winter storm for Minneapolis, Minnesota, I know, but people of all walks of life kind of coming out and supporting. They come across here with tear gas and pepper spray and kind of putting their self on the line.
It's beyond like heartwarming to see everybody come out. There's a news reporter from France. There's Tokyo News that came out because the rest of the world can't believe what's going on here. It's literally like 1930s right now. It's beyond insane. But it's heartwarming. Like my dad was saying, after that interview went viral, people come up to him saying like, "You're the reason you got me off the couch to come here." So when we walked out of the car and we thought there would not be as many people because it was like 7 degrees, but we saw so many people. And like you said, yeah, yesterday it could bring tears to your eyes because there are so many people out here supporting. Like community, for me, it's unbelievable seeing the community coming together, like bringing hot chocolate, bringing coffee, bringing salt, cleaning the path, because they're not going to do it for us. The police aren't supporting us to help us. But the community, if we're bigger together, we're bigger than anything these people could ever be.
So Donald Trump is threatening to escalate this by he's readying 1,500 troops out of Alaska, Army troops, not National Guard, Army troops out here if he does able to initiate the Insurrection Act. Do either of you have when we met you were holding munitions of war. Some of these things aren't allowed in combat, but they're used on American citizens. How do you feel about this escalation, this threat?
I think it's absolute bullshit because these guys are the ones causing the problem. He brings in his guys, the ICE guys. Our state was peaceful before these guys showed up. These guys are escalating the issue. So who's he bringing the military in? For them?
I mean,
he's bringing the military in for these people? Really? What? We're all domestic terrorists because we're out here using our voice to try and get them to calm down and get the hell out of here? That's not right. So that's bullshit. I'm about to ready to go off again.
I mean,
some more gold.
There is. I'm just excited because it's like people have been excited about your talk, and that I've been seeing on messaging that like it's getting people out here. It's like, okay, this is the guy that even Tim Miller over the Bulwark, George Jeb Bush, campaign manager.
Yeah. They just had me on their podcast. But here. What was I going to say? I was just going to say something.
So, like, do you feel as though that how do you think that Minnesotans are going to respond if troops are like real not National Guard, but like troops are on the ground here?
I don't think it's going to stop us. We can't stop. If we stop, then we're showing them that this is okay. And then he's going to try and do this across the country. This is ground zero. This is where this is all going on. So, I mean, that's why the Jolly Ginger canceled all his plans and he's decided to stay here.
So, how one of the things that I think I talked to you before about is that this amazing kind of everybody's out here. You have young people, you have old people, you have people all different walks of life out here, out in the streets, coming together. What? As a younger person, I'm sorry to pigeonhole you here, but as a younger person, what is it like seeing you're from the generation, right, that like is supposedly not worth anything, I'm from the was it the consulate, like the prize that we didn't earn kind of generation, but what does it feel like seeing there's tons of your generation out here?
It's really empowering to know that even the younger kids will come out, like sometimes just sneak out of home to come protest and like be a part of something greater than themselves. It shows that we're not here, we're here to stay. Our generation, we're not just a bunch of memes and jokes. We actually are here trying to make change, and we're going to step up like everybody else is today to come and use our voices because we know that we can't be silenced.
Have you any last message to people who might be holding back on coming out here or getting involved in like the whistleblowing or the ICE tracking?
It's not easy. It's not something anybody really wants to be doing. This was brought to us. It wasn't, we didn't bring it to them. So we just have to do I feel it's our civil duty. It's our civic duty to come out and make sure we document all this stuff and to be out here and use our voices. Like I said, this isn't right or left anymore. This is right or wrong, and everything they're fucking doing is wrong.
I was just going to say there's platforms out there to keep your community safe, keep yourself safe. It's iceout.org online. They're here. You can report ICE agents in your area. You can see if ICE agents are in your area taking people. Also, ICE Wiki ICE, something like that. You can see your local ICE agents taking people and who they are, first and last name, federal name basis. So those are, and also the 3 Native Americans are still in custody. They're at Fort Snelling. If you know anything about Native American history, Fort Snelling is one of the greatest tragedies that ever happened in Native American history. They're still there, and people need to be aware that they're taking Native Americans, and they're on this land before anybody else here.
Thank you so much.
Can we get our social media out there as well? Sure. Because you guys gave us a voice, and I wasn't sure. You guys made me go viral. We're at MN Angry Man at Blue Sky, Instagram, and Facebook, and we're using everything to go to the ACLU.
Or donating to supplies.
We're
donating to supplies. And then the TikTok is MN Angry Daughter. I'm going to be live streaming videos of him and keeping everybody informed on this guy.
We'll make sure to tag you when the things go out. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. Yeah, good meeting you in person. Yeah, thanks so much. Yep.
As a result, they're breaking the law on a daily basis because they're violating the federal badging guidelines. As a federal employee, I know what those badging guidelines are. I worked for an airline for 15 years. I know what the federal badging guidelines are, and they're not adhering to them. And they should be prosecuted for that. And because you can't piggyback. One guy can't put his badge and let 15 people go through the door. That's illegal. It's not following federal guidelines. And I'm totally pissed at our state troopers for the other night when that man got shot. They were lockstep with ICE that night.
What would you like to see your local authorities, your local leaders do to try and, support the community out here?
I think they need to grow a pair, and they need to file charges against Hennepin County for one, against the state police. BCA, which is Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, showed up about 3 hours after the incident up there the other night. They told state troopers to get the heck out of Dodge, which was the right thing to do, because the state troopers were there in riot gear with batons. They also had a rotter truck out there to spray us down. I wasn't up there, but they thought that over because it was 10 degrees out. That's a hazard. So they kind of rethought that mentality. These people are given 47 days of training and released on the public. And what they're doing is wrong. I went to the memorial to pay my respects. The guy Cross that shot her and murdered her, an hour, he wasn't hit. And they have acknowledged that he was not hit. He doesn't have internal bleeding. He never went to the hospital. That was reported by Minneapolis Police Department. They checked. So the other thing is this. An hour after the incident, after he shot her and he called her a effing bitch, he lives in Chaska. He was over at his house with about 7 other ICE agents loading up the vehicles with his belongings, and they took him to a safe house. He's hiding out. The state of Minnesota has frozen his assets. But he's got a GoFundMe page that's getting heavily contributed to by MAGA. So I hope that they find a way to put this man in jail. I owned a house over there. I know the people over there. I lived there for 10 years. I owned a home. And Portland, that area, nicest people walking the face of the earth. I had 3 generations of Somalis living next to me. Nicest people in the world. Okay? If the truth were to be known, this is not about Somalis and Latinos. This is about the fact that Trump dislikes Minnesotans because we are aggressively progressive. We like to make things fair to people the best we can. And the other thing is that he wants Minnesota because of twofold. He wants us because we have the best soil in the United States up here. We have taconite, which he wants, and we also have 3 not landlocked ports off of our lakes and our rivers. He wants that so he can control it. That's the only reason he's coming down so hard on Minnesota right now. And the worst thing he can do is send the 11th Brigade after us, airborne after us, because I think what it's going to do, it's going to take it up a notch, and we don't need that. And Walz should have activated, in my opinion, the National Guard earlier. I've spoken to a lot of the National Guard because I'm a veteran. I speak to a lot of them, and they don't want to do it, but they raised their hand too, like I did. My oath never expired, you know. So I'm peaceably exercising my constitutional rights, which I signed up to defend. I was in Germany for 3 years, and I sat over there when the Russians were trying to invade us. They told us we had 7 minutes if Russia decided to come in. We figured just going to sit there and show them our Geneva Convention cards. That's all we could do.
Does this country, I mean, when you look around the Twin Cities right now and you see masked men, as you laid out there after 47 days of training, you said, released or unleashed. I forget exactly. Unleashed on the public. Unleashed on the public out here. Yeah. These scenes that you've seen play out now in your hometown, is this the country that you signed up to serve?
Not even. I'm 72 years old. I've seen lots of things. I'm born and raised in California, so protesting's in my DNA. I marched with Cesar Chavez back in the day when I was in high school. So I believe that everybody in this country, we're all immigrants. Unless you're an indigenous person, you're an immigrant, okay? No matter how many generations it goes back. And you should treat fellow immigrants with respect and honesty and protect them if we have to. It's not right, it's not fair, it's not just what they're doing. And it's a violation of the Constitution, but they don't care. ICE doesn't care. They violated a federal order, knowing a federal order was told for them to cease and desist on this stuff. And they still violated a federal order. As they claim they're law enforcement, yet they won't abide by the laws and by judgments. That's because of the leadership that we have in the Oval Office. A lot of these Proud Boys are these guys. Okay, they were pardoned. I was deeply offended by that because as a veteran and having visited our capital, I've gone up there many times to pay my respects to the presidents that were my commander-in-chief when I served. And I might be a Democrat, but I voted for Reagan. Okay, so I don't follow party line. I vote for the guy that is going to do what I feel is the best job. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, Independent. It doesn't matter to me.
Do you have any? You've talked about your niece who is a MAGA supporter, and you've referenced that ICE agent Jonathan Ross is raising all this money through an online fundraiser in spite of shooting and killing somebody. Yeah, go. And you look around the country and there are still so many people supporting what ICE is doing. Do you have any hope of being able to reach people like your niece and convince them to kind of treat leadership the way you are, of saying whoever is going to do the best job, like that's the person for the job, rather than just blindly following this I don't even know if you can call it an ideology, but certainly this cult of personality off a cliff.
The thing is this. I think my niece understands because I sent her some video of Jonathan Cross's video himself, and it showed that he intentionally unholstered and was going to fire up her anyway, without cause. No cause for that. And they're saying that she had 4 bullets fired at her, but they're only committing to 3 at this point. But the fire department said she had 4 wounds in her, the paramedics. So, I guess it'll come out when the autopsy is released to the family, they'll say. But it's a tragedy, and ICE has been harassing the people that go over there to pay their respects. And I spoke to a Minneapolis police.
How so have they been harassing people who go to pay their respects?
Among the crowds and pushing them. And they've been goose-stepping through there, I call it goose-stepping because you're lockstep, you're walking 3 deep, and you're pushing people out of the way. I call that goose-stepping from where I come from. Trump and his administration are following the playbook of Hitler. If you know anything about history, this is how Hitler's regime came into power, taking away all of the rights of the people, suppressing the press, and, doing the things he's going case by case. Just follow the list. Just get it out, and you can Google it. You can explore it through the history books. And I took American history from a guy who was in the camps during World War II, and he told the class, "I'm going to show you a video, but you don't have to be here if it's going to traumatize you." And that was very eye-opening to a 20-something-year-old kid. And this was before I went into the military. So, I went into the military during the peacetime, and number one, to support my country, and because You know, I come from a strong military family background, and I wanted to do my part. I'm the only one in my family that enlisted. None of my other family did. My twin, in fact, was a hippie. So, you know, here I was in the Army, and she's a hippie. But, you know, that's okay. No matter whether you're red, blue, pink, purple, it doesn't matter. We have to respect each other's right to speak what we think is our truth. And you can't go attack people over that. You know, and as far as I'm concerned, this and Greenland and all this is a distraction to keep us off the Epstein files because we know he's guilty as sin. You know, when he became president, I said, oh, that's great. We're a third-party country now. We have a 34-count indicted and a felon serving as our president now. I don't call him President Trump. I just call him Trump. If I was in the military and he came to my base, I'd fucking go on sick call. Okay? I would no more salute that man than I would walk out here without cleats. Okay? He's not right. There's something wrong with him. 5-time draft dodger. When the rest of us are serving our country. Not right. Not right. There's something wrong with that man.
And thank you very much for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Who do you
Report for Status Quo, our online independent progressive outlet.
Good.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, you know, I mean, we have to do our part, but we have to do it in the right way. And I'm not only out here protesting, I'm also following up with my legal options. You know, and that's the only way to do it. I will say something. When I was in Germany, I was in the medical corps, and I had to deal with a lot of tragedy over there at the time. They sent 17, 18, 19-year-old kids over there without any idea of what they were up against. Back then, it was snail mail and telegrams. That's all we had. We couldn't phone home. We had to save our money up and go down to the post office and call home once a month. And kids were either, you know, unaliving their children, hurting their children and spouses, or hurting themselves. And I had to x-ray this. And I started writing to my congressman and my senator to get the tour reduced from 3 years down to 2, or whatever they could do for us as first-time enlistees. About 6 months later, and I wasn't the only one writing, Congress changed the tour of duty to 24 months. So I like to think I can do it legally within the system, but also this is within the system. It's just a little bit more vigorous, you know, and that's what I believe in. I think we need to put Congress in there. They only work part-time, and we need to put them on a where they only get paid for the days they're in there, and they only and we're never going to get term limits on those people. They're not going to. That would take an act of Congress, and they ain't going to do it. But we need to cut their finances, because if they serve just one hitch in there, they get that for the rest of their lives, and that's wrong, very wrong. Our founding fathers didn't get paid to be in the government, so why should these people? You know, it should go back to a no pay, because most of them are attorneys and lawyers and doctors. They've got their money, you know, and they should make them not have to get any money, in my opinion.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the opinions.
Thank you very much.
Sharing it with us.
JT.
JT. Yes.
Thank you, JT. And thank you. They have foot warmers and hand warmers, boot warmers over there. And hot chocolate and McDonald's and all sorts of stuff.
And it was Diane, correct?
Diane, yes, sir.
And Diane is saying that because it is brutally cold out here. And part of the reason that, Diane, I think we could have talked to you all night, but part of the reason I'm entering the interview here is that I just want to get Will and I moving a little bit. We just want to walk down the sidewalk, show you a little bit more of this protest, and also get the blood flowing for ourselves here to be able to warm up.
Well, go get some. It's probably cold chocolate, but it'll help.
Thank you.
You're welcome, guys. Thank you very much.
So, Will, based on your experiences out here, what you've seen Minneapolis go through, what should people be doing right now or be preparing themselves for?
For sure. So definitely get educated on the fascist playbook, or the authoritarian playbook, honestly. Get educated and be prepared. I mean, in my little buggy here, I got eye wash cups, I got emergency blankets, you know, look out for each other, take care of each other. The government isn't coming to save us. We have to save ourselves. And that's really scary, and it's really uncomfortable. But we really need to sit in that discomfort for a little bit and be in our radical acceptance era, you know, because it's here. It's not coming. It's here, and we need to mitigate the damage. I don't know if that answered your question.
No, I think it absolutely did. I appreciate it.
Because they took so much from me, and it's not just my neighbors, and it isn't just my government or my tax dollars. They took my dad. You know, like they took people that I love from me.
Can you explain that?
Yeah. So their rhetoric works, okay? Like authoritarian tactics, they work. They work on good people. I'm not mad at the Trump voter. I'm not mad at the MAGA individual. I love them. I love them, and I miss them. I miss going fishing with my dad. I miss going out with my uncles. You know, I miss going to Thanksgiving and not feeling like, oh, Jesus, like just turn off the news, man. We don't hate you. We want healthcare for you, too. You know, we want you to be healthy too. We want you to be safe too. We want your kids to get a good education. We want your kids to have full bellies and be safe and go to school and not worried about getting shot up. We want that for your kids too. And, you know, I don't blame you for not believing me. But that's what's in my heart today.
But so your father, I mean, is he someone who is very much on, you know, on the MAGA train, so to speak, and
yeah,
feel like you just don't have that relationship with him anymore because of politics?
Yeah, and the thing is that at least from what I've seen, is that people are, oh, you know, these radical liberals, we have Trump derangement syndrome. No, we haven't. No, the line crossed us. You know, we didn't cross over. You know, I know that they're good, decent people. They just voted for someone who's really good at tricking them. And it's okay. We can't, you know, we forgive you. We forgive you for falling to those tactics because you can't be a billionaire. You can't make that much money being honest with people. You just can't. You know, so they're really good at tricking folks, and you're not stupid for falling for it. You know, I would want to believe it too. You know, I would want to believe that, yeah, let's make our country better. I want to make our country better too. You know, that this isn't the way that we've been going isn't the way to do it, in my humble opinion.
And when she says the line crossed us, I mean, what she's saying there is that the Twin Cities was not built on top of 3,000 immigration enforcement agents who were already here. This is a force that was imported into these cities to cause the pain, and in one case, the death of the people that live here. I didn't ask you at the top, at least I don't think I did in my cold, addled brain, but can you just spell your name for us really quick?
Yeah, it's KTHRYN, as in November.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thanks for what you're doing.
Yep, appreciate it. And I want to talk, one of the Trump administration said that it was going to start investigating some of the protesters out here in Minnesota. Yeah. Have you seen any conduct from protesters out here that would warrant federal investigation?
No, I have not seen any conduct that would warrant federal investigation, but I didn't see any when Mark Kelly said that you cannot, you can disobey an illegal order. Or when Elise Slotkin said the same thing. I didn't see any illegal conduct when Tish James or James Comey did their job. Or I didn't see any when Tim Walz or Jacob Fry. I didn't see Jerome Powell, who's the head of the Fed, because he won't lower interest rates to help Trump and drive our economy into a bad shape. Clearly, we live in the age where this administration weaponizes the criminal justice system to punish people they don't like. At the same time, however, they let 1,600 people go who tried to overturn a Democratic election. Oh, and worse than that, there is a woman who he just gave a pardon to who committed fraud in the first Trump administration, got a pardon, committed fraud again, and then got another pardon. There's a guy, Juan Orlando Hernandez, moved 400 tons of cocaine into the United States. He acts like he's against drug dealers, so he's killing people in the Caribbean without any legal right. So this guy is completely inconsistent. The one thing you can count on is that if you do what he wants, you can do anything you want. And if you stand up to him, he's going to use the criminal justice system against you. This is authoritarianism. This is tyranny. This is not something, and it's not happening elsewhere. It's happening here. And we have to stand up to it. And these people are freezing their asses off to stand up for our country. And I just want to be here to just say thank you to them. So that's all I got for you.
Was there any symbolism for you coming out here on Martin Luther King Jr. Day? Why'd you pick today to come out here and stand with these protesters?
If there's any day to be here, it is Martin Luther King's holiday. He helped us have a democratic society. He helped bring our society into one where, you know, you could live up to your talent and ability and not be restricted by your identity. And because of that, because of the advances he made in democratic society in America, these people being so courageous and they're standing up for democracy, it just seemed like the right time to be with them.
We've seen the state in your office already take several steps as a way to try and push back on the Trump administration. Is there anything else in the works or any other steps that you feel are needed to be taken in this moment to stand up against the occupation that's happening here in the Twin Cities area?
Well, one thing I will say is that I don't make any conclusion about the guilt or innocence of Jonathan Ross, but it is inexplicable for the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division to say that they will not investigate her death, for 6 assistant U.S. attorneys to quit because they're telling them to investigate the Cook family and they're not investigating Renee Good's death, and then they won't turn the file over or at least give the state access to the file. It is completely inexplicable, and it looks just like a cover-up to me. And so if you're not going to do an investigation, give us the file, we'll do it. But they're saying no. So to me, I mean, that's just completely unexplainable, and it speaks to cover up, and we have to denounce it. And the whole world should denounce it. And so we're going to be in court on January 23rd to stop this Operation Metro Surge, and we're going to do the best we can to bring justice forth. And we're going to be trying to follow the example of these completely courageous people who are freezing for the sake of our state. And lifting up their voices, and God bless them. And on Martin Luther King Day, they are exhibiting the true spirit of what Martin Luther King is about. And And I just want to say thank you to them.
Last question, since I can see you're cold, as we all are out here. You just referenced that the Trump administration has politicized the justice system.
Sure have.
As the chief law enforcement officer here in the state of Minnesota, the justice system is sort of your purview. What is your hope that the federal courts or that the courts here in Minnesota can give you any sort of justice when that system is being politicized by the Trump administration?
Well, we're going to put our case in front of the court on January 23rd. We're going to show how Operation Metro Surge is illegal, unconstitutional, damaging to our state. It is wrong. And we're going to believe that the court's going to bring forth a fair and just order. And then we're going to expect the Trump administration to follow the law. If they don't, then there are all kind of sanctions that can happen with regard to contempt. But, we're going to do the best we can do, because these courageous people out here are doing the best they can do. We can do no less. How can we do less? If somebody is, freezing their toes off, how are we going to mail it in? No, we got to put everything we got into it. And that's what we're going to do.
Anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
No, man, you got it.
Thank you very much, Attorney General. I appreciate it. That was Keith Ellison. We didn't have the time to really set it up before we had to get in there and ask him a few questions while we had that opening. But that is Keith Ellison. He is the Attorney General here for the state of Minnesota, an outspoken progressive. He has taken the Trump administration to court over its conduct here in the Twin Cities area, and as a way to try and get the Trump administration to end Operation Metro Surge. That is the operation that was underway before Renee Good's murder, before Nick Shirley's video that he put out, that you may have seen, that went viral, where he harassed a number of Somali daycares here with false, in many cases, accusations of fraud. And he was out here. So that operation's been underway since the beginning of December. The Attorney General is now challenging that operation in court. And as you just heard him reference there will be a proceeding in court on the 23rd, which is the same day that a general strike is planned here for the Twin Cities area, where a number of unions and other organizations, political organizations, and others are calling for people to not go to work, not go to school, grind this community to a halt, and for people to go out into the streets and resist the Trump administration and what it is doing. We will be here on the ground on the 23rd, reporting on those court proceedings, reporting on what the people undertaking that general strike are doing, reporting on that street eye view of how those people who don't go to work, who don't go to school, who do go out into the streets to try and resist the Trump administration's operations. We will report on how effective they are and give you that on-the-ground look, because that's what we do here at Status Coup. We give you that on-the-ground reporting. We grab elected officials when they are available, when they do come out to protest like these. We are constantly asking. I've been trying to get an interview with peek behind the curtain here. I've been trying to get an interview with Attorney General Ellison for the better part of the last 2 months. And there we're able to get it and bring it to you live, put important questions to elected officials, lift up the voices of people who are out here at these protests in the cold, in the negative 17-degree wind chill that my boss had the joy to call and let us know exactly how cold it was. Thank you, Jordan, for that. The cold that we were out here reporting and lifting up the voices of people who, in comparison to that federal government in that building right over there, that they are standing out here to protest, are the power, showcase that power imbalance that exists between the billions of dollars that federal government is funneling into the police force, that private police force, that Gestapo that a lot of people refer to ICE as. And I don't think it's an exaggeration to call them that, to draw that direct comparison to secret police forces from other authoritarian regimes that's operating out here in the street, and they are out here with whistles and signs to make their voice clear, with just helmets or respirators at their sides as a way to protect themselves. We lift up those voices here at Status Coup. We put important questions to elected officials. We do it all in negative 17-degree cold because it is important. We do it away from our families. Will, behind the camera right now, has a fiance back at home who is waiting for him to go home. He has been here for weeks. I just got back finally from being able to see my wife and newborn daughter for just a few days. Excuse me as I get a little emotional, but it's because it is so important, because we believe that what we are doing here is giving a real, unvarnished look at what is happening on the ground here in the Twin Cities area, to be able to give you that informed perspective, to be able to push your leaders for the kind of change that you want, if you want to join us in this people-powered, people-centered news, independent journalism. Please go to statuscoup.com/join. For as low as $5 a month, you go to support us, to keep us here on the ground, asking important questions of leaders like that, lifting up voices like these, and doing on-the-ground journalism that doesn't parachute in when it's just a hot story here in the Twin Cities. We were here for weeks before Renee Good was killed. We've been here on the ground for the couple of weeks that have passed since, and we will continue to be here on the ground to showcase how the rising authoritarianism in this country is actually impacting Americans, your friends, neighbors, family here in the streets. I want to try and get another interview, Will, while we're out here. But I wanted to make that pitch to you because It is so important, and we're only able to do this with the support of our members. So if you are a member, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Being out here is just that rising passion from people, that need, that desire to push back against what the federal government is doing out here. Thank you all for your time. I'll let you get together with the some of your Twin Cities counterparts that you came here to demonstrate with. Before I let you all go, is there anything anybody else wanted to add while you had the platform?
Just keep it up. Keep up the good work, Minneapolis. This is unprecedented. We haven't dealt with these numbers, as you pointed out, and you're doing a good job. Keep doing it.
People in other major towns in Chicago, please take notes of all the escalated tactics we're seeing in Minneapolis. Expect that we will come back to all these cities and do it double, do it even more, and just use as your motivation to not do nothing, to be somebody who goes to a protest, somebody who cares. Please.
Start building your connections now. If ICE immigration enforcement isn't happening in your city, reach out to cities that have experienced it and start building out your toolkits. You know, North Carolina did that really well. Charlotte and Raleigh had Siembra, Poor People's Campaign, and they reached out often and early to build out their toolkits, and they were able to get Border Patrol out early. So, you know, it's got to happen to all of us, and it's just best that we're prepared and we resist as a country.
Thank you all very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to see you guys too.
Donald Trump is chosen by God to help the country through this?
I'm not the only one. 80 million Americans believe that. We're fighting election fraud. Those people need to be arrested, sentenced, and or executed.
If you're a fan of The Good Liars, you probably can guess where this line of questioning is going.
And do you consider yourself pro-life?
I do.
So we are here at the March for Life with a Trump supporter who believes that the death penalty is proper, but also is pro-life.
Yes. That's hard for you to believe?
Yeah.
You seriously can't make this stuff up. No one should have as much confidence as this MAGA moron when asserting something so obviously hypocritical. But these are exactly the type of people Trump and Republicans prey on the most.
We won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Repeat after me. El pueblo vive, vive. El pueblo vive, vive. La lucha sigue, sigue. La lucha sigue, sigue. El pueblo vive, vive. El pueblo vive, vive. La lucha sigue, sigue. La lucha sigue, sigue. El pueblo vive. El pueblo vive. La lucha sigue. La lucha sigue. El pueblo vive, vive. El pueblo vive, vive. La lucha sigue, sigue. La lucha sigue, sigue. El pueblo vive. El pueblo vive. La lucha sigue. La lucha sigue. Escucha, escucha. Escucha, escucha. Estamos en la lucha. Estamos en la lucha. Escucha, escucha. Escucha, escucha. Estamos en la lucha. Estamos en la lucha. Trump, escucha. Trump, escucha. Estamos en la lucha. Estamos en la lucha. ICE, escucha. Estamos en la lucha. Estamos en la lucha. Escucha, escucha. Escucha, escucha. Estamos en la lucha. Trump, escucha. Trump, escucha. Estamos en la lucha. Estamos en la lucha. From Palestine to Mexico.
What are you trying to do? They have active applications. They're here legally.
Don't put your phone in my face.
Don't push me.
Don't put your phone in my face.
Why would you push somebody?
Stay arm's length away
I'm
from
right
me.
here. I was
Stay
arm's
arm's
length
length away from me.
I was.
Next time I'll take you into custody.
I'm right
I don't know
here.
who you played with in the past, but I'll take you in.
I'm an attorney.
I don't
I'm an
care.
immigration attorney.
I don't care.
And I'm a
if you
US
violate the
citizen.
law, guess what,
I'm
immigration
standing right
attorney?
here.
You'll be standing in court too.
I'm standing right here. I'm
18 U.S.C.
on the arm
111.
length.
You
So
get
you're
my
gonna
face
come after
again,
me?
we'll
You're
have
gonna shoot
problems.
me? These guys have active asylum applications. There's nothing wrong with them. Why are you trying to pick them up?
You don't know what they have.
So why are you trying to pick them up? You have no idea. It's not legal.
It's none of your business.
It is my business. I'm their attorney. It's exactly my business. Get the fuck out of this apartment. Get out of here. Just leave. These guys are here legally. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're
What do you
funny.
think you're
What are
gonna
you
make
trying to
us
do?
leave?
I'm arm's length.
Yeah, good. You learned your lesson.
So get out of
You're
here.
a wise attorney.
Get the fuck out. Go. Can't believe you're not afraid to show your face. Get out of here. You must not be from around here. You're touching your pepper spray? You're gonna pepper spray me?
So you're saying you're their attorney?
Do you have a warrant?
So under their conditions,
No, do you have a warrant?
You do not need a warrant to knock
Yeah,
on
the
their
fuck you
doors.
do. Get out. Get out.
Cops make warrantless arrests on the day.
Yeah, it's illegal. It's against due process. Get out. It is.
If you develop
You are not an
probable cause, Mrs.
attorney. Get out.
you would know that we could
Fourth
take the
Amendment.
person into
Why are
custody.
you without arm's length? You just came up to me. So back off. Arm's length. Right now.
So under
Don't you dare
order-
push me again.
Under 220
Get the
Alpha
fuck
or 220
out!
Bravo.
ICE is here! ICE is here! Do not come out! Get the fuck out now!
We go where we want to go, and we stay as long as we want to stay. So
Because
if
you're
you
such
want
tough
to-
guys. You're such
if you want
tough
us to leave,
guys.
Maybe you should just walk your ass inside.
Get out.
And then we probably leave.
Just get out.
We're disrespectful.
You show me a warrant.
You're funny.
Ma'am, I already
You
told
show me a
under
warrant.
the 220 Alpha or
No,
220
no.
Bravo.
Show me a
Their
paper that
conditions of
show me a paper that you can
release
pick
to
up
the
these
attorney.
specific people.
Listen.
There is due process, and you guys are not following it. So get in your car and get the fuck out.
There are also conditions of release.
You have no idea what these people are here on.
You have no idea.
No, I do because I'm their attorney.
Okay, so what were their
So
conditions
get
of
out.
release? What
I'm not telling you because you don't know.
They were alternatives to
Get
detention,
out.
right? Alternatives to detention?
Get out.
We're gonna go arrest other people.
You have no idea what it is. Get the fuck out of here. And try to grow up here. Do something good for your living.
I'm talking really politely to you. I know you're trying to get under my skin.
No,
Fine.
I care. I care about people. All right, so get in your car and leave.
Yes.
Where are you coming in from?
That's none of your business.
No?
Nope.
We care about our people.
Sorry, what's your name?
My name is Erica Crazy Hawk, Top Fish Utah, Chalk Freeway, Coal Creek Sioux Tribe, Dakota Excel from these lands.
Oh boy. So I'm sorry, I can't really hear too well because of all the layers that I'm wearing, so I couldn't make out your name just then. But what made you want to be out here as part of the general strike today?
Well, I myself am a Dakota Excel from these lands here, and that these are our people here. These are our relatives here that are getting exiled. And a lot of this is historical trauma to us, and it's triggering. I myself am a mother, and when Renee got shot, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to go and burn that motherfucking fort down. That's what the fuck I want to do, and I'm still gonna fucking do it. So I'm asking you guys to come stand with me, the Dakota, Erica Crazy Hawk, Top Fish Utah, Chalk Freeway. Let's get together, let's organize, and get this shit shut the fuck down. Get ICE the fuck off our Dakota stolen lands.
You're making a direct call to action there for people to stand with you. Out here are thousands of people standing alongside you. How do you feel when you look out over this crowd and see all of these people?
Well, I feel that unity, that love, that solidarity. You know, Mother Earth feels this too. You know, our ancestors feel this as well. You know, they're loving this right now. They're seeing the world wake up. They're seeing America wake up. I love seeing all these people here coming together. Like the prophecy says, we will unite under one tree. Where's that tree going to be at? Well, that tree should be at Fort Snelling Historical Site. That's what I think. That's where my grandfather was hung. So that's what I think, my own self, and claiming land back for our people.
Claiming land back for people.
The Dakota people, for the Dakota Excel. It's Dakota Excel that were excelled out here in 1862, 1863, taking our lands from us. These allotted lands still belong to the Dakota Sioux, the Santee. My grandfathers have allotments here that they took and are holding on to.
How do you see the use of ICE agents here in the streets of the Twin Cities area as an extension or as a continuation of that long struggle that you are making reference to here? Draw that through line in very explicit terms for people.
Well, you know, like I said before, you know, I got arrested out in D.C. like 3 or 4 times, you know, here for declaring an emergency, declaring land back, stopping, you know, the drilling here, what's going on. So yeah, I'm kind of happy that everything came here. You know, I'm sorry that Renee Good got shot and she died. You know, that's the sacrifices that sometimes we have to make for our people because that's what my ancestors did. So, you know, standing here and being a mother my own self, you know, telling my children I love you today, and that if anything happens to me, know that your mother died trying, all right? I'm a veteran as well, and a teacher.
How does it make you feel? I mean, just the feeling that, like, the idea that you had to tell your children that, or you felt like you had to tell your children, like, hey, if I die, like, just know this. You know, how does that make you feel that you live in a country where that's a very real possibility, where it has happened, you know, to another mother like Renee Good that you just referenced? How does that make you feel about living in a country like the United States?
I think it's fucking sad. I think it's fucking sad that everybody is still siding with President Trump and his administration, because we all understand that this is about fucking money. It's about greed. It's about keeping those files a secret. You know, all of this while we're standing here protesting and marching, we need the rest of the world to wake up and tell them that we need those files released. And yeah, it makes me very angry, but very, very happy to be a Dakota woman in these trying times, in these prophecy times.
When you say, pardon me, the cold makes it difficult to talk, but when you're talking about it's about the greed, you know, can you lay that out a little bit more? Where do you see the greed at play here, the moneyed interests at play here? You made reference to the Epstein files, etc. Can you again just make that explicit for people? Where do you see that at play, the money?
I see the greed right here. You know, the ICE officers, you know, protecting, you know, the other ICE officers and wasting the people's money. So right now what the greed is going is that it's all about the oil. It's all about the minerals. It's all about the military making their equipment, and all those investors throughout all these times profiting off of that. You know, my own son, you know, and my own self, but my son right now is, you know, an active Guards member. And, you know, I have to tell him, this isn't our fight. This isn't our war. And he isn't going across seas to fight other wars. And he isn't going to stand on the front line with the rest of the fucking National Guards and military and sit there and look at his mom straight in the face. No. I mean, like I said, you know, the boarding schools and everything that had happened to our people, you know, it's showing now. The world is waking up. I feel that honor coming, you know, that respect of our people and the history finally coming to light.
How do you feel about the future? Optimistic, pessimistic?
I feel very optimistic that we're going to motherfucking win and we're going to shut this shit fucking down.
What does winning look like?
Winning looks like this. Winning looks like unity. Winning looks like solidarity, love, helping each other out. I'm homeless as well. My mother's up in freaking Anoka in a group home right now, and we're not even allowed to leave and go back to Minnesota. So that's where I'm at right now in my own fight, for my mother and our sovereignty rights right now, because, we're in a different state and it's a jurisdiction issue. So, being here, being with the people, having coffee, thanking all the businesses that let us guys into the door, and all the people and all the marshals and all the speakers. The Dakota people welcome you on these lands, and we thank you for your cheers, your loves, your prayers, and your hospitality.
Thank you very much. And before I let you go, is there anything else you would want to say while you have the platform?
Yep. I'd just like to say that, the Dakota people are going to be working on this thing here called the Red Road Village Project. And what we want to do is take back some of our lands from the Minneapolis and the Minneapolis City, Park and Boards. We need these lands for our people, for the recovery for our people. We're suffering here. And this is what makes me so sad right now, is watching my own people houseless and being taken and deported right now and being held at Henry Whipple. This is sad. This is sad time, people. Pray for our people. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, so I'm standing down here with one gentleman who said he arrived shortly after this shooting, which again, we cannot confirm. I have not seen official confirmation of that, but that is the word that is circulating amongst the activist circles here, is that federal government has shot another person here on Minneapolis' south side.
Yeah.
When you arrived here at the scene, what did you see?
So when I got here at the corner, I was actually at a corner north of here, and they had police, I don't even know what to call them. They're not cops, they're not ICE, they're Nazis, and they're just standing at the side of the street, keeping people back. More and more people kept coming. People were mad, yelling at them. They had everything blocked off. And then we got word that they shot someone.
So you had come down here before you had even heard that. And I'm just noting that we're watching this intersection here because we're hearing more tear gas going off and flashbang grenades going off over here.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, they just keep shooting at us. We're not even doing anything but yelling at them. I think maybe someone's threw a snowball. That's about it. But that's about it. No one's doing anything violent. I'm screaming at them. I'm losing my voice just because I'm so fucking pissed. And they're trying to create a scene. They're trying to create a scene so they can get the military down here and make us a full-on police state. It's fucking bullshit.
You think that this is all just a pretext? It's about soliciting these scenes of chaos to try and get the military in American city streets?
They've outnumbered the cops 3-1. We try asking the cops what's going on. They say they don't know. When they show up here and they leave, they're in on it. They got to prove that they're not in on it. Same with Walls and fucking Frey. They got to get out here and fucking yell at these motherfuckers like we are. People don't fucking believe us. I work an hour away from Minneapolis, and the people out there think we're all lying. They think they're just taking quote-unquote illegal immigrants. They just want the people that are causing crime. It's bullshit. It's all media bullshit. I mean, Sadisky, you guys keep it real. The same with Mercado Media. You guys have been the only ones out here getting tear gassed, doing the real shit. These motherfuckers don't know what they're doing.
So you want to see your leaders in the street. What else do you want to see them do? Is it to push back on this violence that we're seeing here? With our own eyes, it's happening right down the street.
Something's better than nothing. If you don't want the civilians out in the street protecting ourselves, you got to get out here and do it. But as far as we can tell, nobody's out here protecting us. We're the only ones protecting ourselves.
All right, I don't want to hold you too long, man, just so you can keep your head on a swivel. Stay safe, all right?
Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right, take care. So I just want to note, John, if you just want to show really quick, they're building another roadblock here. It's the same scene that we saw a block up from where we were standing. But this is what people are doing out here, building up these little roadblocks, little defenses, and taking shelter behind them.
JT, I'll be right here.
Sir, they're also violating your First Amendment rights to free speech and freedom of assembly, okay? But you got to make sure you don't engage physically, all right? James Cook here. Feel free to pass my number far and wide. Post it on your socials. Call our office. Call me. Let me know. We got other lawyers to represent you pro bono for free if you get arrested, all right? As long as you aren't physically engaging. All right, there you go. Please don't tear up the city. I grew up here, too. Oh, my God. That is wrong.
Not how you're feeling? Not at all.
Not at all you don't mind, or not at all you don't want to?
No, I'm fine.
You're fine. Okay. All right. My name is JT. This is my cameraman, John. How do you want to be identified?
I'm Ron Easton.
Ron. Can you spell that for me really quick?
First name Ron, R-O-N-N. Last name Easton, E-A-S-T-O-N.
Ron, when did you come out here and what prompted you to get in the streets?
I have been in the streets for the last 11 years against all of this bullshit. I came out here after I saw that man was murdered at my home today. Put 5 shots in his body. And he had a conceal and carry permit, and they just killed him. They murdered that man. I'm against all of this. It's because body counts are now piling up in the state of Minnesota. We are a peaceful state. This is a resilient state. You just saw 50,000 people in the streets of Minnesota yesterday to fight against this. ICE comes in, murders a man, they take off and leave it to these guys to clean up their bullshit. That's unnecessary. The president wants to inflict as much pain on this state because we are a blue state, because he can't stand Governor Walz, because he can't stand the fact that he has never won this state, and he will never win this state. It is my job at this point to do all I can to make sure that every Republican that is responsible for this gets voted out of office. And I will do this until my dying day. I am a veteran. I took the oath. It is my oath to defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I will die doing that.
You talked about how you've been in the streets for the 11 years against, you said all of this. Can you describe how this is a continuation of activism you've been doing for those last 11 years? What's the through line? Really draw it, make it clear for me.
The through line is the persecution of people of color. And he has called African country shithole country. He had looked at Somalis and condemned an entire race of people, calling them shithole or whatever the case may be. These are human beings. I will not allow that to happen as long as I am alive. We are human beings who deserve the respect that we've earned, period.
Does this feel like the country that you signed up to serve?
No, this is not the country I fought for. Not at all. At 76 years old, I don't want to be here. But I'm compelled to be here. I will continue to be here. As long as this takes place, I will be here.
What was that version of the country or the ideals that you did feel you were signing up to serve? What paint me that picture of that idealized America. What should we be aspiring towards?
Freedom. Freedom and the liberties that people have died for in order for us to have. They're just taking it away. The voting rights, gerrymandering in states, basically saying that people of color don't matter because your vote doesn't matter. That is exactly what's going on here. I will not allow that to happen.
Thank you very much, Ron. Is there anything else you would want to add while you had the platform?
People need to understand that this is real. Minnesota needs help, all right? People need to get in the streets or call their congressmen, their senators, en masse, and let them know that this is not going to be tolerated.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate the time.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it.
We'll see you this week. Thank you. Go get warm. Charge up, because again, this fight just starts.
If you're just joining us, this is Tina Desiree and why they're having a general strike. So I think ICE has been sort of the catalyst for what we're seeing right now with the general strike. But this is about having a general strike across the nation, right? Not just here in Minneapolis, but everywhere. Los Angeles, Las Vegas. Oh, pardon me. Jonathan Ross, yes, correct. Sorry. It's long day. Jonathan Ross killed Renee Good. Apologize for that if I said Alex Preddy. Also, I wanted to mention we spent the day down at Whipple Detention Center. And there's a group down there called, believe Safe Haven, something Haven. But they have actually been taking donations in and using those donations to get burner phones, warm jackets, clothes, shoes, and food for the detainees that are being released out of the center. They were telling me today that some of these detainees have been basically dropped off in the woods without any clothing, so they're freezing to death from the elements. So there's a group that's been organizing down there and providing mutual aid. Did you want to come talk to me? I see you shaking your head. Yes, yes. Yes, Safe Haven. Okay. So this is really important work that has not been discussed, I think, because if you just drop somebody off in the woods and they don't have a phone to call somebody and they don't have clothing to protect them from the elements, it's very dangerous. You could actually die from frostbite or hypothermia in that situation. So good work that they're doing. All right, so I think that's about it. I was going to try to
coordinate with them and get them set up and get whatever they
need. What is your name?
I'm Megan Voiles.
Okay, so the reason I wanted to talk with you, let me explain to the audience what Safe Haven is a little bit because they're like, what's Safe Haven? I will tell you. So there's
Haven Watch now.
Oh, Haven Watch now. Okay, so Haven Watch. So this is a group of volunteers that are basically getting blankets, burner phones, clothing, jackets, things for detainees that are released from the Whipple building, because my understanding is that they have been releasing these detainees into this insanely cold weather with not enough clothing on them, no phone, no money, and in some cases, I've been told they have dropped some of these folks in the woods area, which is a death sentence in this cold. Like, that's just shocking to me. So tell me a little bit about
you're fine.
Okay, tell me a little bit about what you know.
So it's not just Haven Watch now. There's a few other organizations who are coordinating to pick up the people who are dropped on trails in the middle of the woods at parks to make sure that they also can get home safely. Haven Watch is generally looking for cash donations or gas cards or burner phones to be donated to them so that they can get people home safely. They pretty much just sit at the Whipple building 24/7 on shifts to make sure that everyone gets home safely, because people get released 24/7. it ticks up at night generally. Really? Yeah, it does. So there's more people who are getting released at night than during the day. There's also just families showing up and waiting and praying that their families is going to get released too.
So now, are the individuals that are being released, are they American citizens that were picked up? Are they people with green cards, various different?
Yeah, so the vast majority of them are U.S. citizens. Of course, Haven Watch doesn't really care what the status of anyone is, but the vast majority has been U.S. citizens. A few of the ones who aren't, most of those, like, as far as I know, all of the ones who aren't U.S. citizens are here on legal status of some kind. So
that's what I was kind of curious about, because I was assuming they want to deport everybody, so why are some of these folks being allowed to leave? And I know in Los Angeles, for example, they were scooping up all kinds of American citizens, and they were holding them and releasing them. What is some of the worst releases you have seen?
So they're basically being tortured in the Whipple facility, mentally tortured. Some of them aren't allowed to eat. If they piss off an officer, then they just won't get food for that day. They're not allowed to go to the bathroom unless they beg and plead. They're people who are just going about their day. After they murdered Alex Preddy, then a lot of the people who are out here protesting ended up getting scooped up and at the Whipple building. So there's all kinds of people. Yeah, please be careful. Yeah. 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 Basically, the Whipple or the Haven Watch group, especially if you're wanting to volunteer with them, they're especially looking for people who are multilingual, especially in Spanish, and who have like trauma training, because these people have just gone through hell being in that building, being tortured day after day, mentally being like, oh yeah, we're going to release you here in a few hours, and then they come back and like, never mind, we're not going to do that, and just going back and forth. So they never know when they're going to get released. They're never on solid ground. They're just completely alone in there with no way to contact home. A lot of people, they are trying to get out their like alien identification number to people so that their family would be able to contact them, because their family can't contact them unless they have that number, but they can't get that number from the DHS or ICE or anyone. Yeah.
It's an impossible situation, and I didn't realize they were also bringing protesters that they were scooping up down there, so that makes sense. I will say that I did have someone that I spoke to didn't want to go on record, obviously. It's a little bit scary for folks out there right now, because you've got Kash Patel basically saying, I'm going to now start monitoring all of the signal chats that the organizers are organizing in. Yeah. I have no idea what kind of a criminal predicate he would use to justify that. Generally, when FBI opens up investigations into like suspicious of domestic terrorism or something, and normally these are people that are like posting photos of pipe bombs. Let's be clear, these are people that are generally could be doing some scary stuff. But this is how politicized that this administration is. They're basically saying we're going to open up these investigations into people that are not doing anything other than exercising their constitutional rights. I see I've been in several of these rooms. You can look into me, I guess. I haven't seen anything that has even remotely indicated any sort of level of domestic terrorism. So this is a crazy thing, but I also think that maybe he's saying this because he wants to sort of chill the activity, chill the First Amendment as the end game. So I did talk to a woman, so this is the long way of me getting to this, who basically told me that there had been a woman who was pregnant and they had her chained up.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they've been raiding hospitals this lately too, and they have been trying to like put people in handcuffs in hospitals, even though you can't do that under a civil process. It's only if it's like criminal process that they can do that. I've seen stuff circulating around nurses that like they're trying to tell nurses the rights around what ICE can do, and ICE is trying to stay in the room when talking about their healthcare issues, even though they have no access, and under HIPAA the nurses can't tell them any information. Right, exactly, and they're basically ICE. Yeah.
We're good. It's fine.
But basically, ICE and DHS and Border Patrol and all of these people who have invaded our state will do whatever they want and claim it's legal because they decided it is, whether or not it actually should be or is. And
yeah, in fact, I saw a video of some interaction that happened around here the other day where the ICE agent literally said, yeah, I am the law. Right. So they obviously believe that they can act without impunity. I'm also a little bit concerned about the situation developing where they're basically saying that they don't have to pay attention to the Fourth Amendment anymore. If they can just go into somebody's private residence without a signed judicial warrant, which is entirely unconstitutional.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they have an internal memo that is claiming that their administrative warrants, which they sign themselves, is enough to do whatever they want.
For this protest?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are Iraq.
So So one of the things you're asking for is a rent moratorium.
Yes, we are.
I don't think that's something that's been discussed widely, or is not as widely as ICE agent violence. How bad is the economic need in Minneapolis right now?
Well, it's just the way it is right now, the terror on the streets. There's so many people that aren't able to go to work. The restaurant industry in the city is pretty much in shambles because of these legal these immigrants who've done no crime at all being swiped off the streets. They're afraid to go to work. They're afraid to go outside to get groceries. They're afraid to do their laundry even. So these people, they've been unable to open up the door to their customers. As you can imagine, that's causing all these small local businesses to suffer immensely.
So when I was here about 3 weeks ago, I actually caught the tail end of a raid that was right down the street from the Mercado.